Welcome back, everybody, to another episode here at Just Dolan. Today we're going to be playing some more Higurashi When They Cry Ho, Ch.1 Onikakushi Henemalenamenamen. Last time, we stayed home because we thought we were sick, and we went to the doctor, and then we ran into Oishi, and he brought us out to lunch, and he told us a lot of information we really didn't need to fucking know. Now we're back home, and we've been laying down for a while. Most boring intro possible. Anyway, let's jump right back into it because tonight's episode is going to be pretty exciting, I think. So, here we go. I wonder how much time had passed since I laid down. It was getting dark outside. My body was soaked in sweat. It would probably be a good idea to change my sheets. At that moment, the phone downstairs rang. It's probably Mom. Mom was quite the worrywart. Maybe she had called so many times. Maybe she had called many times, but I just didn't notice it. Hello, this is the My Bar residence. Oh, he's alive! Hello! This is Mion. How you doing? This is one of Keiichi's friends. Keiichi's resting now, but... Shall I put him on? Huh? Is this his dad? Sorry. Idiot. You fell for it. Huh? Kei-chan! After our exchange, we both had a good laugh together. Except I was suspicious of her even as we were laughing. Was everybody really involved in the incidents? The fact that I couldn't say no saddened me. I'm relieved that you seem well. Rena was really worried, you know? Satoko-chan was happy and said you got what you deserved. Rika-chan said how unfortunate, he's sick. Heh, looks like everyone was making a big deal out of it. Well, you know. So, Kei-chan, it's now a bad time to come pay you a visit. A visit? No, it's okay. It's not like I'm dying. My grandma made a ton of mochi, you see. Oh, shit. I was told to share them, so I'll bring you some. Hey now, you'll catch my cold. Not to worry, both Ren and I are too stupid to catch a cold. See ya! Be there in a bit! What the fuck does that mean? We're too stupid to catch a cold! She hung up cheerfully. Rena's coming too. That's what it sounded like. I was still concerned about meeting Rena, but I guess if she was with Neon... I heard the doorbell 10 minutes later. Man, it feels like it's been ages since we've just had a conversation with our fucking clubmates, you guys. Feels like it's been forever. How are you feeling? Did you take your medicine and rest? I did just that. Thank goodness you look well. I was worried. Sorry, I'll be fine by tomorrow. Mion showed a complete lack of concern for someone who's recovering, and Rena looked like she was worried about me from the bottom of her heart. It didn't look like there was anything behind those expressions. I thought we might hang out for a bit, but it looks like you're not quite in the condition for it. You don't say. Soon my face appeared quite sullen. Then here, Keiichi-kun. This is the mochi Michan's grandma made. Rena held out the package wrapped in newspaper. There might be about 5 in here. It's quite hefty. Ah, thanks. Send my regards to your grandma, Mion. Yep. Ah, there's one that I made in there as well. I wonder if Keiichi-kun can guess which one. This is Kei-chan's homework since he missed the club meeting today. There are letters on each mochi, so I'll ask you tomorrow. Were you checking if I was feeling better, or did you just come here for club activities? Yep, looking fine. Guess you'll be able to make it tomorrow. Man, what are you gonna do if my fever comes back because of your shenanigans? Michan, we shouldn't be making such a racket. Let's go. The other people here will get angry. Both of them thought my parents were home. It was because the entranceway was a mess. You're right, let's get going. Ah, by the way, Ch.1. Yeah? What did you eat for lunch? The sudden question startled me, and I went wide-eyed when I saw Mion. I'd never seen her like that. It was a highly unsettling visage. But why is she asking me about what I ate for lunch? What she said was so inane, it was almost meaningless. The way she said it, it was almost like she didn't even care at all what I ate. I ate out? She must have suspected that I was with Oishi-san. Anyway, I felt that if I hesitated or tried to change the subject, then they'd read too deep into it, so I tried answering as quickly as possible. Except, contrary to the efforts I'd made, there was a pause before they replied. So you ate out for lunch, Keiichi-kun? The glimmer from Rena's eyes had changed at some point as well. I didn't even see it. I didn't even see that change. That's creepy. It was now sharp, as if to make me feel the feigned ignorance behind her words even more. As if she already knew. That's how it looked to me. Well, was it good? Why are you asking me this? Mion was speaking in an unusually low tone, almost as if she knew that I had eaten at the restaurant in town. No, I'm overthinking this. I mean, both of them really should have been in school at lunchtime. There's no way they could have known where I was. Seems you were with a rather austere-looking older guy. Who was he? Austere. Is that how you say that? I don't even know what that fucking means. Future Dylan, look up what that means and flash it on screen. Oh? Keiichi-kun, who was he? Could it be the person from before, I wonder? I could feel the back of my throat going dry. This was no longer a bluff. They knew everything. How do you know that? It took everything I had to finally force those words from my throat. My knees were shaking. Because there's nothing this old man doesn't know. I mean, it's true, Keiichi. She knew that you'd recently made the change from briefs to boxers or whatever. Mion sneered knowingly, and her laugh seemed to carry on forever. So, Kei-chan, what did you talk about? Seems like you got pretty worked up over it, too. We weren't talking about you guys. It didn't have anything to do with you or Rena. Isn't it a bit strange to hear our names come up even though nobody asked about that? Rena's unwavering gaze pierced through my eyes and pressed further inside me. I'd just dug my own grave. My heart was throbbing so much I felt like it was going to explode. Well, whatever you're trying to hide, this old man already sees through it all. Remember that. I couldn't even shake my head. It took everything I had to stop my teeth from chattering. She never let her gaze break from mine, even as she tilted her head slightly. Keiichi-kun, you don't look so good. I think you should lie down. That's true. We should both head back home. As if nothing had happened, they both giggled at each other and started making their way out. I hadn't moved a muscle since I dropped the package of mochi. As they left, the door slowly closed behind them. All I could do was stare, as if I couldn't move until the door was completely closed. Just as the door was about closed, it opened again slightly with a sudden creak, sending my heart racing once again. A single eye peered in through that narrow slit, and Leon's hawkish gaze peered into me once again. See ya, Kei-chan. Yeah. I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow, alright? thud. The door closed. I wasn't able to move a muscle even after their low laughter died off into the distance and silence once again enveloped the room. Coming back to my senses, the first thing I did was lock the door. They knew what Oishi-san and I had talked about. Why? How? No, that wasn't important. Thinking about it now, all of it could have been overheard from the beginning when Oishi-san met me. Just as Mion said, I couldn't hide anything. Then, what were they trying to tell me? That part was obvious. They were warning me not to say anything unnecessary. But what did they deem unnecessary? I only talked to him about one thing. And they were warning me that that was unnecessary. What was it that Oishi-san talked to me about? The incidents involving Oyashiro-sama's curse that occurred every year weren't individual cases, but were connected as a whole. As well as the fact that there may be multiple perpetrators hidden within Hinamizawa. No, more precisely, that all four of them were suspicious. Is that what they were warning me against? What kind of nonsense am I thinking about? I hit my own face hard enough that it let out a loud slap. That was a very authentic sound effect, by the way. If only that would wake me from this nightmare, but for some reason it felt like I was punching a blanket. It was almost laughably painless. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. When did I become such a pessimist? Calm down, settle down and sort things out! The reason Mion knew I was eating lunch with Oishi-san was probably because somebody from Hinamizawa just happened to be there at the time. They must have told Mion that I was there. That made the most sense. Plus, come to think of it, she didn't even ask me where I ate lunch, did she? She only asked, was it good? They were just curious, since I was together with someone not from Hinamizawa. It's not as if they had any ulterior motives, that's it, that had to be it. Thinking about it that way, it's the same with Rena. I was just being strangely ambiguous about when I met with Oishi-san, and Rena was just correcting me on that. That's when I was bewildered by the changing character from the usual mild-mannered Rena, and was just startled by it. That's the most natural way of thinking about it. It felt like my mind was mixed up in a tangled mess of spaghetti. Deep red marinara sauce would have poured out from my nose and ears if you squeezed my head. Thinking that, I suddenly felt like vomiting. You really thought that? That's kind of amusing. I really didn't want that to happen, so I stopped holding my head. Lately, I had no idea what anyone was saying. Spending time with them was fun. It didn't feel like there was any hidden agenda. I really do think that they're a good bunch of people. When I just moved here and couldn't make heads or tails of everything, they really were kind to me. Rena was really kind and always looked after me. As long as that strange affliction didn't rear its ugly head, she was still pretty cute. Mion is also a really good person. She didn't care about anyone's age or gender and was optimistic and outgoing. I was never bored with her. And talking of not getting bored, rambunctious Satsuko was a good person for that too. She was pretty bratty, but that was just the way she interacted with others. Rika-chan was the same way. She didn't speak often, but that didn't mean she was always silent. They're all my friends, but after hearing of the better untold secrets of Hinamizawa from Oishi-san and Tomitake-san, when I was told about Oyashiro-sama's curse, things just started going crazy. Then hearing from Oishi-san that Mion, Rena, Satsuko, and Rika-chan were all suspicious. After that, everyone changed. That's right. It all started getting weird after he told me all that strange stuff. At that time, I really should have just not listened to those weird stories. I shouldn't have even asked Tomitake-san about the past incidents on the night of the Watanagashi. If I just hadn't gotten that strange sense of curiosity. If I just hadn't... That's right. So that's why they killed Tomitake-san. That impudent outsider speaking to the likes of me after everybody went out of their way to keep it a secret. They'll probably kill Oishi-san as well. For trying to unearth what everybody was warning he was better left buried. Besides that, he was unforgivable for spewing words that made me doubt the others. Of course a guy like that is going to be killed. Both Tomitake-san and Oishi-san were nothing but outsiders after all. They were entities that could coexist with the people that couldn't coexist with the people of Hinamizawa. Those guys should just fall to Oyashiro-sama's curse and just die. It wasn't their fault. It's my fault for not being able to hold back my curiosity. It wasn't their fault. 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 I settled into a daze. It was a lethargic feeling, like I had just gotten up, but the ominous chill that haunted me had subsided. I was fine now. I was no longer frightened. I completely recovered. I'll go to school tomorrow, right as rain. I'll greet everyone. I'll take part in club activities. It'll definitely be fun. It had to be fun. I was one of them, after all. Ah, that reminds me. I need to eat those mochi. I hope I'm able to tell which one Rena made. I remembered the homework the two brought with them when they visited me. But wow, our club did delivery. That was something else. It's not delivery, Keiichi, it's DiGiorno. I picked up the package I dropped on the floor and headed into the living room. It would be nice, I guess, to have some tea with it. And to fill my mouth with mochi while drinking tea. Oh, this was quite a delectable situation I was in. Opening up the newspaper wrapping, there were 5 plump red bean paste mochi fit snugly inside. There were letters written on it from left to right in the newspaper, A, B, C, D, and E. Now then. They said Rena made one of these. I wonder which one. There wasn't much difference in how they looked. They smelled and appeared about the same. This was a pretty difficult problem. The biggest difference was probably their shape. I wasn't sure what kind of person Mion's grandma was, but Rena's had to be different from hers. Looking carefully, I could see one mochi that was made very neatly. So well that, just by staring at it, one could tell it stood out. Looks like this challenge depends on whether or not this one is Rena's. Calm down and think even harder. Mion said that her grandma made a ton of them and was told to give some out, if I remember correctly. So that meant 4 of these were from that large batch. And what about Rena? She probably only made 1. So she probably spent quite a bit of time on it. Meaning, the one Rena had made was this one, E. For a moment, I thought it may have been a trap Mion laid as she knew I'd pick up on it, but that probably wasn't the case. I wouldn't be so sure if I knew Mion had made it, but since she said Rena made it, it probably wasn't a trap. Alright, my tea is ready too. I'll start with the defending champ, Mion's grandma. Let's see. Not bad. The smooth bean paste and soft chewy texture left little to be desired. The tea I drank afterwards also accentuated the experience. This was an exquisite piece of work. Now, how about Rena's? The creation was so delicate, one would think it was a high-class Japanese dessert. Since I normally had quite the appetite, I was slightly worried about the size of the portion. But, well, first a bite. This was quite a difficult one to judge, actually. The ingredients were exactly the same, so there was little difference in flavor. What was different was how it was shaped at the end, so it was to be expected. So the deciding factors would be the presentation and volume. The well-formed and well-sized champion versus Rena the challenger, with a size he just couldn't get enough of. I'd only had 1 bite of Rena's. I'd probably have to wait until after I was done eating to make my decision. Maybe there was something hidden inside that could cause an upset. Seems my prediction was right. My tongue touched something. It didn't feel like something edible, so I reached in with my fingers and grabbed it. What was this? Before I could fully comprehend what it was, I threw away the rest of the mochi I was eating as fast as I could. I slammed it against the wall, causing the bean jam to splatter. Then, after sticking for a moment, it slid down to the floor. I was dumbstruck by my own actions. What was I doing? Rena had gone out of her way to make it for me. How could I? Dumbstruck, I looked down at the hand that performed such a vile act, and I remembered what I had taken out of my mouth. At first, I thought it was a hair. Even though it was shorter than Mion's, Rena's hair was still quite long. And if it wasn't this short, it was also a bit too hard to be hair. It was thick enough to roll around in my tongue. There was a bit of a metallic sheen on the end of it. Ah, yes. There was a hole for where thread goes through, like it was a sewing needle. Yes, that's right. It looked very much like a sewing needle. Exactly like a sewing needle. The end was pointed as well. Quite sharply. It really did look just like a sewing needle. What did I mean by looked very much like a sewing needle just a bit ago? I couldn't answer. The voice inside me already knew, and let me know by chattering my molars together. I couldn't stave off the terror welling up inside me. Suddenly I tasted something metallic and felt a prickling pain at the back of my throat. I stuck my finger in the back of my mouth and felt around to see if I was bleeding. Suddenly I felt the urge to vomit. The sharp taste of bile irritated the back of my throat. I clasped both my hands over my mouth. After writhing in agony, I was somehow able to hold back the nausea. I was finally able to breathe normally again, but this time my heart was throbbing intensely. Then it finally registered exactly what was mixed in with the mochi. It was a fucking sewing needle. Before I could think of the correct word, my hands were already on the move. Splat, plop, splort. I tossed the rest of the mochi against the wall. The geometrical patterns of the scattered bean jam on the wall suddenly evoked a terrible omen in my mind. After looking away, I dashed out to the hall and flew upstairs to my room, where I stayed under my covers until morning. I clutched my own shoulders, howling madly in a mix of anger, fear, and sadness and frustration. This wasn't a threat or warning or reminder, nothing as simple as that. What happened in Hinamezawa? What is happening in Hinamezawa? What would happen? I didn't know the answer to any of these questions. Where did I break a taboo? Regardless, now Rena and Mio and the others, they consider me an enemy. And they thought I should just die. I won't let you kill me. Not for such a pointless reason. I fell into a restless sleep as I was crushed by my negative emotions. It was as if I was being drawn into a billowing, bottomless marsh. Well. That certainly just happened. I wonder if we have time to read these tips. Hard to swallow. Well, we'll go ahead and at least try to read one. What's a drug that makes you commit suicide? Okay. Let's cut to the chase. Is there a drug that causes someone to kill themselves? Not directly, no. That's quite a roundabout response. You mean there's one that does it indirectly? It's possible to induce a suicidal mental state, is what I mean. That's hard to say. What would a suicidal mental state be? Like a person with a serious bipolar disorder. It's believed that people are most likely to It's believed that most people are likely to attempt suicide when swinging from depression to mania. Clinical depression and bipolar disorder are different. Clinical depression indicates a prolonged state of depression, whereas bipolar disorder is characterized by a passive depressed state accompanied by very active manic state. Individuals with clinical depression suffer from low self-esteem and are quite pessimistic. Yeah, I can fucking attest to that. Oh my god. But rarely commit suicide. They don't have the willpower to commit suicide. Nor does mania on its own lead to suicide. That has an opposite effect, filling the person with confidence and making them feel as though they're walking on air. Thus, they do not commit suicide. That's interesting. Neither state does it, but when the condition changes, they might. There's a desire to commit suicide when in a state of depression, but they do not have the willpower to commit such a formidable act. But when they enter mania, they gain a burst of willpower and their body moves as they desire. I see. So it means they gain the willpower to do it. That's how it goes. That's why patients are giving sedatives during that time to keep them from acting on their impulses. Then, was Tomitake bipolar? People who suffer from bipolar disorder generally commit suicide by more civilized means, like, say, hanging or jumping off a building. Self-harm, as though going through withdrawal, is completely different. Tomitake-san's death wasn't civilized at all. So one would think it was caused by some foreign substance. As I said from the start, tell me of a drug that causes someone to commit suicide. There are reports that methamphetamine overdoses produce a condition that resembles bipolar disorder. It's a stimulant. Barbiturate overdoses are also reported to cause erratic behavior. That's a sleep aid. There were no signs of stimulants. Are there any other possibilities? All I could think of is that it's some sort of illness. Something like Graves' disease, which affects the thyroid and is known to cause symptoms that resemble bipolar disorder. But Graves' disease had many characteristic symptoms of its own. The deceased exhibited none of them. I wonder, is there something that could happen more spontaneously? Something that fits this case and would cause someone to want to commit suicide all of a sudden? Are you familiar with organic mental disorders? In short, it's a condition where the brain is out of whack due to physical injury or illness. It can be caused by drugs, but it can also be caused by physical trauma, encephalitis, a stroke, or even tumors. Basically, even without a drug, one could succumb to an irregular mental state. The deceased was surrounded after being chased, and his life was in danger, right? All that stress could have messed with his brain chemistry, and he could have hit his head. Those factors combined might have caused him to mutilate himself. It's a possibility. Could you explain it to me in more simple terms? Basically, he knocked his noggin in the brawl, and that made him go haywire. I guess this means the assailants didn't have any intent to kill. They smacked him, hoping to nick some change. It just happened to hit a bad place. The two plump men laughed hoarsely. But of course, it's not like that. Undoubtedly. Whether it was habitual drug use or something mental, the deceased's background holds the key. How's your investigation going? Oh my goodness, look at the time. I need to get back or Kuma-chan will get angry with me. Yeah, good luck. Best wishes. Best wishes. Well then. I'm just going to go ahead and read this next tip as well, while we have time. Those guys just now. Who the fuck is Kuma guy? I have no idea who this is. I'm just going to use my Dolan voice. My good old neutral Dolan voice. They had national diet badges. Then it's Prefectural Assembly Manager Sonozaki and City Council Sonozaki. That's interesting. The Prefectural Assembly member and City Councilor are related. It's dirty is what it is. Shouting out each other's name during elections. Well, one is up for the election, the other one holds an assembly, and they double up their campaign activities. Blatantly. I don't know much about this stuff, but isn't that against the rules of the election? As long as they have no prior consultation, there are no restrictions on their political activities. Kuma-chan, the second investigation division is going to be pretty tough for you. You should probably at least brush up on election laws. I'm not cut out to handle intellectual crime, because I'm dumb. There was a prefectural assembly member, Sonozaki, and city councilor Sonozaki, also the mayor of Hinamizawa. So they're all influenced by the Sonozaki family. What crap. Looks like they were seen off by the deputy chief and department chief. Came to me. That night when the department chief invited me along to get some Odin, I thought that was it. Who the fuck is Kuma guy? Takasugi? Who the fuck is Takasugi? Takasugi? You have a lot of connections, so you might have heard something, have you? Nope, not a thing. Ma'am, I'll take a tofu fritter and fish cake. The council stormed in on the police chief in a rage. Oh my, is that so? Ma'am, I'll take another bowl. Prefectural Assembly member Sonozaki and City Councilor Sonozaki are both intimidating. Our snot-nosed career police chief couldn't handle being yelled at by them. They're like Yakuza. A petition with your name came out regarding how the investigation of the Hinamizawa incident's being handled. Goodness me. I've not the faintest. No need to play dumb. You're reopening the past cases regarding Hinamizawa, aren't you? I've already got my hands full with Tomatake's death. Really? I hope so, for your sake. There's a period of silence. While we were silent, we made headway on our food and drink. Woo, that was quite the feast. This month had been a bunch of losses for me, so my wallet was feeling the pinch. Much appreciated. Nah, it's nothing. Tell me a good horse again. I'll bet on the same one as you. I haven't been doing well there lately. I haven't been able to read the horses at all. Taxi. Going by train. The department chief is taking a taxi. I have my own car, but it'd be rash to drive it home. Can't blow it right before retirement with a DUI. Even though he could still rattle off. It looked like his legs were already jelly. Pushing him into the cab, I gave the driver their department chief's address. Well, see you again tomorrow. Best wishes. Oyashiro-sama. Yeah. The past incidents have all been closed. Stop loving them altogether. Those villagers half believe it's really a curse. Well, I'm not convinced. You're gonna be retiring next year, aren't you? Weren't you gonna pay off your mortgage with the severance pay and move up to Hokkaido with your mom? Mother pines to return to her birthplace. It's the least I can do. And severance, well, I'll enjoy it at the entertainment district. Chief said he may have to reconsider issuing a special retirement salary raise. Public servants' severance payment was calculated based on their monthly salary when they retire. So a special promotion of 2 pay grades is given before retirement. This tops up the employee's severance payment. That tends to be how it's done around here. Of course, it's not exactly a commendable custom. Incidentally, the difference that the 2 pay grades makes the payout is quite different. I expect no less of our egghead chief, quite the model failed threat. But, well, considering how our pay comes from the public's hard-earned taxes, it's the way of the times, I suppose. It certainly wasn't a laughing matter, but I'll laugh through it anyway. I don't think it's a model response. But given how hard you've worked, it's not at all odd for you to take home such a good package. Personally, I'd like you to get it. If I could get it, well, of course I'd want it. You'll get it, as long as you're an adult about this. Sorry for holding you up here, driver. Thank you very much. Closed the door roughly, interrupting my department chief's conversation a bit rudely. It looked like he still had something to say, but he just smiled dryly and waved. I waved in return. The cab sped up gradually and soon disappeared among the sea of lights. Yeah! Oh man. I wonder if I'll be able to repay that loan. Okay then. I wonder if we're gonna meet those 2 people at any point. I've never heard those names before in my life. If they can't be in the anime. There's no fucking way I would have remembered who they were. I don't remember them at all. I hope that information makes sense to me at some point. Because right there, all that didn't add anything. That didn't add anything to the game for me. Reading those tips just now. Because I have no idea who those people are. Whatever. I'm sure all of the information in the tips, by the time I'm done with all of this, makes sense. It's just like bits and pieces of info. Oh wow, there's a lot of save files in this game. It's pretty unnecessary. Alright, well, I'm like out of breath. Feeling a little lightheaded. It's really hot. It's summer. We record episodes, gotta turn my AC off, like I've said before, so oh boy. I've gotta take a break, so I'm gonna have to end it off here. I hope you guys are liking the series so far. I certainly am. Next time, I guess we're gonna have to go to school because Mion threatened us and said that we had to. And then we found a needle in our mochi, so that's cool. Keisha's gonna go fucking insane. Poor guy. Alright, well, next time, I guess we'll be heading to school and confronting our friends. Not sure how that's gonna go, but I guess we'll see you next time. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your night. Love y'all. Catch you on the next one.